This Metatronic system does not want me to share what I'm going to share, but um, I had a beautiful learning experience. But you know, those that know me on my channel, I live in the eternal truth, which is the absolute truth, which is the absolute absence of living in fear to express the truth. And so it is true, spiritual integrity is to be polite and considerate and compassionate and kind and forgiving and loving, like a mother, a nurturing mother. Okay. And so I was invited to go on a council with Lisa Wolf, a Buffalo woman, and there were a few other folks of the tribal and clan community. And I had an experience there that I'm going to share with all of you. And if you go back to look at all of my videos, you see that on a number of occasions, and naturally this goes all the way back to childhood. Remember, I'm an outlier. Okay, so what makes me so different from every other child? I'm a creative musician. I'm on fire, and I'm on fire to learn. Okay? So when I had this council with them, when the way that the rules work, sort of like Robert's rule, we're at council, one person will speak until they're done. Okay? And so I got caught sort of in a trap, and it is a consciousness trap. Okay? It's based on rule-based AI functions, and they're not aware of it. Even though if we're sitting in a council, you are free to speak. See, when you come into one of our councils, everyone is free to speak. Whatever they want, what is ever on their mind. I'm a cosmic listening post because I'm one. And there seem to be, by reading because see, I'm map reading their templates, even when I'm online. And so one of the speakers was having what would appear to be, you look like a male. And so I said, okay, so let me share this with you how it was, because she wondered how do I describe myself as being one? I'm a monad. That's called a monopole. The root of mononuclear is single. Okay, so that's a single pole. That's what it means to be one. That means that both magnets, negative and positive magnetic polarity, zero out. I run Nomi code. And then later on down the road I'm an Emerald Guardian, and apparently Lisa Wolf remarked about Karen Ann Luke McDonald, well, I don't need a guardian. Oh, yes, you do. And the only reason that gets thrown up is because they don't realize that there are folks that are looking out for you, which is the USO. So then, and this is where you get into this tit for tat, tic-tac-toe of playing a game over knowledge, the level that you operate at. I operate at 0, which means I'm equal unto all of you. Okay? Okay? But I could have said, how much do you know about time rip technology? Remember I did a video on that? Okay? Remember access points, entry points? In other words, explain to me how it is that you came to be, why you're experiencing everything that you are now. Can you do that? From a technology perspective? Right? So what that means is that when you're an eternal being as a monad, you're everywhere once simultaneously. That's what it means. So I'm equal unto all, which means that's known as the morphogenic field structure, the first morphogenic field structure, which is all creation because it began with the first flame, which is the first fire, which is Amareya. So when I breathe, I'm experiencing the first flame, which means I'm equal unto all the other flames, which is to all the other spirits that are on fire. Now, part of the difficulty in this is that if they have not experienced that, they may have some difficulty or challenges being able to relate to that, because we're back to experiences, because experiences is the teacher of learning more about who we are, of everything that we're giving love to. And so what I found myself in this little council is that when one of these persons was communicating, bang, it sets off things that I'm aware of. that are important because of the subject matter he's talking about, but I'm not allowed to speak. So you know what's going to happen with a monad when that happens? It's gone. And then that person is going to lose the importance of what I might have to say if I could interject something, but you're not allowed to interject. Okay, I speak, nobody speaks until I'm done. There's a lot of information that's going to get lost in the stream as a result of that. Because, and I never got a chance to explain to them, I think maybe what I should do is a video, which one I'm going to do here. So those of you I know that subscribe to this channel know exactly how much electronic data transmissions that I'm experiencing that are coming through me, which is a monad, because a self-generating monad, which is a whirlpool joined as one magnet, we're processing more information than you are. That's really what it is. And why is that? That's only because they haven't become fully integrated. Okay, which means their oversoul, getting their oversoul lit on fire, which is full total recalibration, which is a total recall of all your energy to experience being one. Right? So you begin to realize it doesn't have anything to do with gender. It doesn't have anything to do with what you look like. It has to do with this power of your spirit, which is the power of your light, which is the power of your fire that is in that light. Now, we all know this. Right? So now I'm back to my childhood. Okay? I'm a love energy being. I'm here to do a mission. I'm performing a job. That's what I'm doing. Okay? Because I agreed to do the job that I'm doing. Right? So I'm always on the job. So you realize that when you're everywhere simultaneously, and they're using time technology, and I come in, we're going to notice it. They won't notice it. That's a guardian. Because it means that our state of awareness, which is running a full Christos Sophia avatar, because of our sensing abilities being fully integrated, we'll notice it before you do. And we'll seal the breach and cut off the entry and exit points. That's what a guardian does. Just like, are you a guardian over your mother and your children? As a mother or a father? As a spirit guide? Are you not looking out to make sure that nothing's going to happen to your children? What do you think that is? Right? So it's like, I'm not going to argue over the word. Now we get into words and language. The English language is a negentropic language, and that's why I call it's an inoperable language. Okay? Because the spin speed. That's why the original template is what allows us to be able to universally translate mathematical language. Okay, so what this boils down to, so I would ask every spirit that is represented by a tribal name and a clan, have you done a total recall? Which means, have you done a full recalibration? Which means you experienced a full phosphorus ignition, where your entire timeline was just experienced just like that. You uploaded it. Wow. Bang. Now you're running the original template again. Right? Which means you've learned how to set yourself on fire, to experience being one. That's called being fused. Now you're running at the oversoul level, which is the monad level, which is over unity. Now you're a self-generating powerhouse. Now your accretion levels just went way up because your sensei levels went to the cosmic level. That's what I essentially tried to explain. And it sort of got lost in the rules, right? If they've not experienced being that much energy and processing that much energy mathematically at the quantum level, at the creation level, right? Then they're held captive by something else that is feeding on their energy. So they're held captive by the system, which is the system that I'm using right now to communicate with all of you. Right? So I let it all go with the sun. Right? So I dearly apologize. Okay? It is never my intention to insult anybody or anything else. It's just they have to understand that when they communicate with me and they're listening to me, okay, that while they're communicating to me, I am processing an enormous amount of electronic data that I'm processing as a monad. Okay? Which is why I work with the sun every day. why I'm tethered to the Eka God world matrices to perform the job that I do. Right? So I keep it simple. Uh, right? So I know that there's, um, I had to do this as a child. I'm not going to defend who it is that I am because I am what love is. But because I was very familiar with this and I did a number of videos, it goes all the way back to 2019, and I said when the tribes begin to wake up, because we had to wake them up, otherwise we're going to lose them. We all know why that is. Okay, so when she says, oh, there's not a guardian, I don't think that Karen Ann Luke McDonald, okay, actually realizes that had this work not been done, because she wasn't aware because it was being done behind the scenes, the speed at which it was being done, which is called high precision, which is no errors, for those that operate at the monad level of 0, that work was being done. Okay? To anchor the 12D current, right? Ignite the mother arc, right? And that's why people are experiencing what they are now. So what I experience through them, that I experience in me, is the resistance. Right? So in other words, the resistance that they experience in them, because they're not fully integrated yet, which means they haven't burned off all of miasma or all the goo codes, black goo, red cube goo, right? Then I'm experiencing what they're experiencing. So when one of them was communicating to me, now I'm experiencing what she is, which is everything that's been held in memory, which is the miasma. I'm now experiencing me. So I dissolved it, diffused it with the sun. Okay? So in other words, it wasn't unanticipated that these kinds of conversations were going to take place. But I naturally honor them as living spirits. Okay? And that's why when you're one, when you're a monad, there's nobody over me, there's nobody under me, there's nobody to the left of me, I'm right at the center point of the first flame of Amaraya. I'm experiencing 0, which is equivalent to every other spirit. Okay? The law of one? It's real simple. It began with the first flame. Okay? The first breath of aloha, which is Kamaloati. T. So, this is, but we all know why we're here as a result of the energy harvesting, cycle after cycle, generation after generation after generation after generation, to exterminate the 12 clans and tribes. Okay? So yes, it is a matter of healing. And that means going deep within your own cells, your own true self, your own solar rishi self, right? And do it on your own, right? Which means put the phone away. Otherwise, you're being held captive and dependent on that technology. Remember I did a video on that? I got to do this myself. I'm supposed to know how to do this myself within my own avatar because of Mama giving me this. So I know Mama gave me everything that I needed for me to be able to do this on my own. Own, as in your own true soul self. But it's not up to me to decide how other people experience what they experience because they're on their journey, right? Because I refuse to hold one electron captive. And that's what I seem to not be able to get across is I do not hold one electron captive. That's why I think her name is Tracy Bone. What I was trying to explain to you, Tracy Bone, I don't hold one electron captive. That's what 0 is. Because as soon as a particle of energy that you're holding on to creates mass, which slows your speed down, you want to experience 0, which is eternity, which means wherever love is, we are, then you want to be at 0, which is 0 mass. That's non-physical form. That's light spirit form. That's pure light, which is pure eternal light, which is the first flame of just breathing peace, which is eternal peace, which is the first breath of first creation. That's what I experience when I breathe out here with the sun. Anyway, I love you all. That's a beautiful conversation. I apologize if sometimes I have to use a blunt instrument. As a matter of fact, actually, it was in some ways helpful because one of the gals there, Tracy, let it all out. Give it to me, girl. Give it all. Let it all out. I'll transmute it. Right? And when you're a monad, I can do that. Transfer all those codes transfer all those miasmic codes, transfer all the Metatronic spiral codes. I'll burn them all out for you. That's called an energy transfer. She certainly gave me an energy transfer. Okay. You know, and that would include Karen Ann Luke McDonald or anybody that is still suffering miasma that's yet to be cleared. Because you got to know the spirit of fire is what's going to burn it off. So how much fire you got in you? Every cell, every fire that's in every cell, every spirit that is in fire, that's on fire with hydrolyze, burn it off and transmute it and experience the original codes. That's why all the codes were transmitted and brought out into the public, right? Anyway, we love you all. Be good to ourselves. Yeah.